Hello everyone, welcome to TechSpark. Myself Anuj Kumar, a Java trainer having a 5+ years of IT experience. This is a core Java session 4. So today's class agenda will be we will see what is compiler and interpreter, different types of variable, what are the Java syntax and how to print the output, what how we can add a comment inside a Java program, and what are the different types of data types present in a Java. Okay. So in previous classes we have covered up to the variable. Now from this I will start with the different types of variable. Okay, so let me first go to the my uh, IDE. That is, this is a simple IDE, and let me save this class first, and we are under this. Okay, close. Let me close, open one file so that I can explain you inside that file some few things in Java program. And this is a text file. Okay. Now, in previous up to the previous session, we have seen how we are creating the different types of variable. Okay, what are different types of variable present inside the Java? Okay. Now, what is creating a class? The class, how we will creating class? Public access specifier, then class keyword, then class name, like my class name is A. Okay, then braces, open and close curly braces. Okay, then in every class you have to write the main method. Okay, that is the main method is public static. Public is access specifier. Static means it can be accessed anywhere from the class, inside class, anywhere in the class. Okay, static. Then void. Main is the method name. This is main method. Then string. This is array. Then args, argument, open close braces, close curly braces. Okay. This much we have seen, and we have seen how to create the object and how to create a method. Okay. Now we have seen, like, if we are creating a variable out, this is basically a method. Okay. This is a method. That is a main method. Okay. Main. This is main method. So there are different types of variable. So first is non-static variable. Okay. So non-static variable are created outside the method. This is main method. Outside the method is there is this is outside the method and inside the class. Okay. So here we will create non-static method. Okay. Non-static method like string name equal to colon Anuj. So this types non-static variable. This is a non-static variable. Sorry, I was talking about a variable. So this is a non-static variable. Okay, the variable which are created on the outside this method, that is main method, and inside the class. Okay, this is called a non-static variable. Okay, a non-static variable is also called as an instance variable. Okay, the second instance variable. Okay, now to access this non-static variable, you have to create an object of the class. So we have seen how to create object, class name, then reference variable with the help of new keyword, dynamic memory allocation, then constructor. Okay, for initialization. In this way we have created a object. This is an object we have created of class A. Now what, for accessing this non-static variable, that is also called an instance variable, we have to create the object. Only after creating the object we can access the non-static variable. So now we will accessing for, let me write a print statement, system dot out dot print ln. Okay, and what is the name reference variable dot your variable name. My variable name is name. Okay, enter. So in this way, with the help of your reference variable dot operation, this is a dot operation dot name, we are accessing the your non-static variable. Now similarly, if this is a non-static variable, now there is a second hmm, variable also, which is called a static variable. Okay, so a static variable. Let me come here. Let me open. Let me create one class first. From here, class name a intel. Okay. Now I have created a class with the name a. Okay. Now what? I will create the main method. Okay. There is a shortcut for creating main method main. No, wait. Okay. You have written main. Okay. Then control plus space bar. Okay. You have enter control plus space bar. Then this is main. This is main method. Enter. Select. So this automatically the main method has been created. Okay. Now in this way you are saving your time. Okay. This is a shortcut. Now we will create a non-static variable. So non-static variable is string name equal to Anush. Okay, this is a non-static variable. So what? A non-static variable, which is created inside class, outside the main method, and can be accessed with you want to access a non-static variable. You have to create an object a1 equal to new constructor of a class. Then print you want to print this variable. Oh, so we in previous classes I have shown you for accessing anything object name dot method name, object name dot variable name. In this way we are accessing the things. Okay, because object are the instance of the class. With the help of the instance we are accessing all the things. Okay, now we will access yes by sp system dot out dot print ln, and you can write a reference variable dot name of your variable. Name of my variable is name. Okay, so in this way, and semicolon. Okay, Co- control plus save to save, and just click here, go to run as. So see, in this way we are printing our variable. Okay, similarly the second variable is called a static variable. Okay, so and also static variable, and also known as a non-static variable. Okay, for to create the static variable will also be created inside class, outside the method. But for static variable you will write static keyword. Okay, and to access a static variable do not need to create an object. Okay, we will access the static variable with a class name dot x. Static means you can access the variable anywhere inside the class. Okay, static variables can be accessed without creating an object. Let me show you first how to create a static variable. For static variable use static keyword static. Okay, int x equal to 10 means I have created a int variable which name is very x, and when we create a static keyword then it is a static variable. Static variable. Okay, a static variable can be accessed anywhere in the class, but non-static variable cannot be accessed anywhere in the class. I will show you. Okay, how. So now we have, so for accessing the static variable, you no need to create an object. Just comment this by this. In this way you are commenting. Okay, just you have to write class name dot x means system dot out dot print class name, that is a dot name of variable is x. In this way you are accessing a non-static variable. Cursor plus save and run as Java application. You are getting the output. Okay. Now the sentence that static variable can be accessed anywhere inside the class means if I create in any method like public void test. Okay. Now yes by st system dot out dot println or your class name or anything you can write dot x. Let's see from here. So in this way, we can see we can access the variable outside the class. Similarly, if wait a minute, oh, 1 minute. If I want to access a non-static variable like a non-static variable, this I want to comment. Okay, for non-static variable, we have to create an object. Okay, now what I will do, we are accessing the non-static variable inside a method. Okay, so let's see it will able to access a1 dot your variable name. Variable name is name. Okay, so as you can see, we are getting the cross sign. So this shows that you cannot access a non-static variable outside the main this method. Okay, this main method. So that is the major difference. So static variable can be accessed inside the main method and outside the main method also anywhere in the class. But the non-static variable can only access inside this main method, not outside the main method. Okay. Okay. Now what I will do. Now one more thing. We have this. Okay. I remove this one. Now, if I want to change the value of our static variable. So static variable int x equal to 10. Okay. Now I want to change the value of the static variable inside the main method. So we can access a variable, a static variable class name dot x equal to 20. Okay. Good. Now we want to print yes by yes tem system dot out dot println. Hmm, just 1 minute. It is got stuck. Hmm. Println and a dot x. Let's see what value it will print. It will print the previous value or it will print the changed value. Now here we have changed the value of a static variable. Okay. So cursor plus save and enter 20. So this means when you change the value of a static variable, then the whole value of the static variable will be changed. Okay. But not in the case of the non-static variable. If a non-static variable, it will not change. Okay. Now let me show you one more thing. If if you create a variable inside this main method, if you create a variable inside this main method and used inside that main method only, that is called a local variable and also called as a local variable. Okay, let me show you one local variable like int id equal to 10. Okay, this is a local variable. These variables are created inside the main method and should be used only within the created method. This is this method, main method. And if you use outside the created method, outside the created method means if you like there is a one method public void test. If you use to access this local, this is a, and this is called a local variable. We are a variable. If you want to access this local variable in this method, that is, this is a new method you have created, new method with the name test. Okay, then you want to access this variable here, then you will get a what? You will get a error. For accessing this local variable, you also have to create an object. Okay, so object I am creating. Let create me one object. A one equal to a, this is object, and here I am accessing this variable with reference variable dot name of the variable is id. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Or no accessing is, this is local variable you can access directly. The local variable can be accessed directly. Basically, if I run this program and run as Java application, you will get the local variable as a 10. But if you want to access this local variable outside the this method, outside the main method, basically cursor plus copy, click here and cursor plus paste. This is the sort. So you are getting this red mark. This is showing error. You cannot access outside this main method. So this is the basic difference. Okay. So if you do not initialize the local variable, then you will also get an error. Okay. Cursor control plus Z for undo the change. Okay. We have undo. If we do not initialize means if you do not put the value in a local variable, just you have done this. Okay. Then you will get an error. Okay. You have to initialize the local variable. Okay. Always. We have seen static variable. Okay, static variable can be accessed with the class name dot x. Okay, it is not mandatory to initialize the static variable. If you do not initialize, then depend upon the data type, auto initialization will be take place. What is means basically I am showing you. This is your static variable static static hint x. If we x if we equal to 10, then we have initialized the variable. Okay, now if we do not do this, then we have not initialized the static variable. Okay, then what if you do not initialize the static variable, then depend upon the default data type. If you do not initialize the int, then default data will be stored 0. Okay, if we a dot x, if we try to see what is the default value stored in the integer type, go to run application. Mm. Creating the type hierarchy with the project 5. Okay, it will take few minutes. Okay, the default value you're saying is 0. Okay, so this is the one more point. Similarly, non-static variable also, it is not initialized, then depending upon the data type, default value will be stored. Similarly with the non-static data type also, if you write a string name and you do not initialize this, then also the default value will be stored string. Okay, now let me tell you a few more things. So now what we will do, like, let's create a static variable. Okay, let's create a static STATI, is a static variable, static static x equal to 10. So this is a static variable. Okay, so it is a this variable, basically static means it can be accessed globally anywhere inside this main method, or you can access also inside this outside the main method. This is new method which you have created. Okay, so if you want to access the first static variable, is first way the SYSTEN system dot out dot println and enter class name dot x. This is the first way we have seen. And now, why it is a global variable? Statically also called a global variable because they can access outside the class. So here we can also access this variable. Okay. So and for x, okay. Now this is a one new method. For calling this method, we have to create a object of the class a1 equal to new a. Okay, now we have created the object of class with the name of reference variable dot method name. We have created a test method enter. So whenever this line will be executed, then test method will be called, and this line will execute and print the int x equal to 10 variable. This I have to comment. Okay, then only this print statement will be run. Let's check. Okay. Now, in this way, this proof that static variable can be accessed inside a class and also the outside the method. Okay. Now, one more thing. Your local variable name and non-static variable name can be same, and static variable name and local variable name can be same. Means you can also create local variable int x equal to 20. That basically I am saying. Okay, this way this variable value name can be same. Static variable, local variable name, name can be same. Similarly, this now it is non-static variable and local variable value can be same. Okay, this is thing we have seen. Now this a1 is a local reference variable. Here this a1 is local reference variable. Local REFERENCE variable, which we have seen in the previous classes. Okay. Now there is a one more variable, that is a static reference variable. Okay, this is a local reference variable, and what is a static reference variable? So just remove this, and this I have removed. This I will remove. There is a closing bracket. Okay. Now what is a static reference variable? So a static reference variable means first static keyword STATIC. The reference variable is class A. Class A reference variable is A1. So this is basically a static reference variable. Okay. And currently I have not assigned any value. Okay. So if you have not assigned any value, so here null value will be stored. Okay. In this reference variable, null value will be stored. If I assign something in this way, so this is the way of assigning thing. Currently, I have not assigned anything. So basically, null value will be stored inside A1 reference variable. Okay. If you want to assign the value in this static reference variable, you can do in this way, like A1. We have seen how to assign A1 equal to new A. In this, we are creating the object. In this way, we are assigning the value inside this reference variable, and just system dot out dot print ln and enter the value of the a. In this way, we have seen. Okay. Mm. This is the address. Okay. Now this thing we have seen. Okay. Now going to our slides. Sorry. Going to our slide. Open. Hmm. So, what is a compiler? So compiler is basically, now we will see the what is compiler interpreter, or what is the internal working of the compiler interpreter, or internal working of the Java. Whenever you save the create a Java program and save that Java program with a .java file, then compiler will convert that .java file into a bytecode. Bytecode, that is a dot class file. That is a bytecode is nothing but 0 and 1. Okay. A compiler is a program that translates the entire source code of the programming language, that is the file which you will create, the class you will create, that is high level, into a machine code, that is a byte code, that is a 0 and 1. Okay. All at once. Okay. Before the program has run. Okay. Just on compilation, it will do the things. I have shown you in previous classes how when in compilation, when we are running the command from in compile timer, what is compile timer? That is the compile timer. Okay. And the output is usually the standalone executable file. Okay. So this is the basic of compiler. Okay. Now what is interpreter? So basically interpreter run your code line by line and execute line by line. Okay. So Java have compiler and interpreter both. Java is a hybrid language. It use both compiler and interpreter. Okay. So basically a JVM machine which have interpreter and just-in-time compiler. Okay. It basically convert your byte code into a machine code. Okay. So interpreter is a program that translate and execute your source code line by line, converting each instruction into a machine code and run. Because of this machine code, your Java can be run in any system. Any system is in Linux, in Windows, in Mac OS. So in this, because of this machine code, which the JVM is converting after compiler, you are say that Java is a access in anywhere in run on any system. So interpreting, we have JVM, just Java virtual machine. We have an interpreter and just in time compiler reads and interpret the byte code that run the program. In modern JVM, we also have a just-in-time compiler that also used to improve the performance by compiling the bytecode into a native machine code at the runtime. Okay, so this is a general diagram. What happens when you create a dot class file and save it at your class name animal dot java file? You have saved this file. Now, when you come start run, then there is compiler come into execution. It will compile your dot class file into convert into the bytecode, that is a 0 and 1, that is a dot class file. Now, after that, the compiler is executing before running. Okay. After that, whatever error you get in this process while compilation, okay, that is compile time error. Now, after that, a JVM come into the picture. JVM has interpreted which will run your code line by line, and just in time compiler, it will also compile further. So here the JVM convert your byte code into a machine code, that is executable code. Okay. In this way, you have the final output. This output is running in your any operating system. Okay. So that is why I say Java is operation friendly. So what is a Java syntax? We have seen what are the different types of Java syntax. What is this curly braces? What is the semicolon? We have seen already. So what is the main method? We have seen what are the main method. Okay. System.out.print we have covered. Okay. What are the curly braces? We have covered. What are the semicolon? We have covered. Okay. Java comment, we have seen the Java comment. Okay. Now one more thing. We have till now we have seen a single line comment. Okay. On which, okay. Now what is a multi-line comment? If you write tag slash star on mute, then after hitting enter, if you hit enter, you can see this star, enter. This is a multi-line comment. You can write anything between, like a paragraph. So this is basically a multi-line comment. The multi-line comment start with star, backslash star, star, then close with star, star, backslash. This is a multi-line comment. Okay. Now what? This is a multi-line command. Now moving to the next thing, that is a data type. So what is the data type? We have seen there are different types of data type. We have seen integer, string, boolean, okay, float we have seen, okay. So there are two types of data type, primitive data type and non-primitive data type. So primitive data type, what happen? That allow you to store only single data type in it. In it means you can store only one data. If you have create a variable of a string, so you can store only a string only inside that variable. Okay. If you have created a variable of integer, then you can store only integer inside that variable. But that is the single data type. Okay. Then that is called a non-primitive data type. Then what is a this is called a primitive data type, which we can store only single data type in it. Okay. Then what is a non-primitive data type? So non-primitive data type, like you have class, you can create a different types of variable inside the class. Okay, then you have array, you can store multiple value inside an array. Then you have a string, you can inside the string you can uh, add alphabet and numeric value also. Okay, so that is a non-primitive data where you can store multiple data value inside the data type. So that is a non-primitive data type. Let me show you example. What are the primitive data type? Byte. Default memory byte will take one byte, that is it start from -127 to +127, and default value, if you do not initialize the byte, the default value 0 will be feeded, okay, occupied automatically. Sort, the default memory is a 2 byte. Sort, default memory is 2 byte and default value will be 0. Similarly, int integer default memory will be a 4 byte and the default value is 0 it is stored. I have shown you that why it is default 0 it is showing. Then long, when you initialize the long, you have to mention capital L or small l. Default memory is 8 byte and default value will be 0 will be stored. Okay. Now there is a float and double. For float, you have to mention capital F or small f after writing the numerical value. It is a 4 byte and default value is 0.0 because float and double are a decimal point number. Okay. Double is greater than float, it has 8 byte. Okay. Character, single character, it will be 2 byte. If you do not initialize, empty space will be okay. A boolean not defined. Default value, if you not initialize the boolean, then default value false will be stored. Okay. Similarly, we have a non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data is string. We can store a numerical value plus integer value also. If you do not initialize, default null value will be stored. Array, where we can store multiple value inside it. What is default value? When we will see study about the array, we will know why there is a dynamic memory allocation allocated at declaration, because when we are creating array, we are providing the what is the type of array, so that's why it is allocated by declaration. Okay. Then class, we have shown theoretically and practically why the class do not take any memory. Okay. So like class, it take no memory because it is just a template object. We have seen practically and theoretically why it is taking and spaces. Static members also take a memory because when the class is loaded, because static members created in class memory, and when the class is loaded they occupy any space. That's why static members also take a memory. So let me show you practically the things which I am telling you. Like this is a class name A. Inside the class we can creating different types of object, different types of data types. Okay, like we are storing string, string. String, the s should be capital. Name equal to oh. We have stored one data type. Okay. Okay. In a string, inside a class, we have also integer value. I have also created inside a class int x equal to 10. So in class we can store multiple data types. So that's why it is called a non-primitive data. Second thing, like if we create only a string and only integer int x equal to 10, so here we can only add integer value 10. We cannot write a string value like Anuj. We cannot store this in integer. That's why it is in primitive data type, means it can store only a single data value inside it. If okay, if we do not initialize, if we do not initialize integer, the default value 0 will be stored. Okay. Similarly, if you not initialize a float, f equal to, if you do not initialize it, then default value 0.0 will be stored. Similarly, if let me put a1, okay. If we write a1 dot f, okay, and try to run the program, we can see default value 0.0. Similarly, the default value of boolean b-o-o-l-e boolean b, if we write true, then we are initializing. Basically, if we do not initialize, just leave it, and we want to access this boolean, that is a1 dot b, okay, and run your Java program, okay. Run, why it is not running internet? Okay, okay, now it is running. Sometimes it is taking false, okay. So in this way you can check, okay, what are the default data types of default value of any data type, okay. So now up to this session, we have covered what are different types of data, how what are different data types, the primitive, non-primitive data type, okay. What are the different types of variable, what are the comment, single comment, multi-line comment, okay. We have seen why the curly braces is necessary, why the semicolon is necessary, why the main method is necessary to run any program, okay. What is this? We have covered all, okay. What is compiler interpreter? This is the internal working of Java, okay. Now let me see you in the next classes, okay.